I spent my 40th birthday at my kitchen island eating chicken nuggets with my kiddo. My husband, her dad, had moved out 6 months previously. It was COVID year. For my 40th birthday, no big party, no big trip, no grand celebration for what I thought was a huge milestone. Just me and my daughter sharing a meal that felt more like survival than celebration. And on that day, my biggest wish wasn't for love, money, or success. I just wanted to be happy. It felt impossible at the time. But looking back, that desire to just be happy was the beginning of my transformation. It was the beginning of reprogramming my brain and reinventing myself at 40. Hey there, I am Sass, and this is Practice Your Positive Daily. If you've ever felt stuck, like the life that you're living doesn't match the life you thought you'd have, this episode is for you, because reinvention doesn't change you overnight. It takes time to rewire your brain, your habits, your biology, and your focus. So today I'm going to break down the 3 key things that transformed my life completely at 40 when I thought I was already destined to relive those same patterns forever. Step number 1, I regulated my nervous system. What does that even mean? Listen, we don't talk about this and many of us don't even realize it, but we are often stuck in fight or flight mode, which also can include fawn or freeze, right? Our brains are hardwired for survival, not happiness. So I didn't realize it at the time, but I was in this constant, tightly wound fight or flight mode. The store didn't have what I needed. Panic, total panic. An email from my boss asking to meet, dread, total dread. A guy I didn't like texts back, spiral. I lived in high alert. I was always bracing for the worst. I was always tense. Then I got laid off. But instead of spiraling and making it worse, I made a different decision. I committed to calming the chaos in my head. I realized I was in survival mode. What worked for me was yoga. I did a lot of yoga, not just once a week, but like once a day. Meditation, again, not once a week, not once a month, every day. Breath work, weekly. I journaled all the time. I asked myself difficult questions. I looked up shadow work prompts. Weekly, I went to support groups, which helped me unlearn toxic patterns and relate to people in healthy ways. And I let go of all the things that I couldn't change. I let go of that control. I surrendered. And slowly, my brain shifted. I wasn't in survival mode anymore. I was calm. I knew I could handle whatever happened, whether it was getting laid off or the store ran out of chicken. I created peace inside of me instead of waiting for life to hand it to me. Step number 2, I focused 100% on myself. After my divorce and things calmed down, I did what most people did. I went back to dating. I went on the apps. I met an amazing man on my first swipe. It was amazing. He was a business owner. He was kind. He was emotionally available. He treated me like a queen. He was open to Claire, a total dream partner. All my girlfriends were so jelly that I finally found somebody at our age. But after a year of everything being pretty good, being great actually, I ended it. Why? Because I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for love. I wasn't ready for a relationship. I had spent my entire life focusing on everyone else. What my ex was doing, what my family needed, how could I fix things, what's wrong with that coworker. I took the time to first answer, what do I want? What does Sasser want just for Sasser? And the answer was freedom. I pulled my focus entirely to myself inward. I focused on my thoughts, I focused on my energy, and I focused on creating a vision for my life, a future that could guide me instead of reacting to the everyday. So instead of chasing this external validation, this attention from my partner, putting all this emotional weight and bonding and life dreams on him, on a partnership, I instead started building my own happiness. Let me tell you, when you stop obsessing over what's missing and what other people could do differently and take all that beautiful, loving, generous energy and you give it to yourself, everything changes. That's it. Focus on yourself. All right. Step 3, I started creating instead of constantly consuming. Listen, most people spend their lives waiting for something to happen. I get it. The job, the relationship, the big break. I stopped waiting and started creating. Instead of hoping for community or thinking I loved community, I built it. Instead of wishing for confidence, I got myself up on stage and learned. Instead of scrolling social media, I started saying, what does my voice have to say? What do I want to share? At first, it was small. I did some stand-up at a local open mic. I did a long-form podcast on kidney disease that got some streams. I did a few social media posts, those TikTok drafts. But momentum snowballs. Action brings clarity. One podcast turned into 2. A few posts got me thinking and turned into a movement. Before I knew it, day by day, these small actions created a path, created a life I was actually excited to lead, a vision for the future that carries me through the good days and the bad days. The biggest shift, this is it, if you hear nothing else, when you're at step 3, I stopped asking, what can I get? And started asking, what can I give? And that changes everything. I know I say it, but it does. It changes it. Oh, I feel this in my bones. So let's recap. If you're feeling stuck and craving change, here's what worked for me. 1, I regulated my nervous system. Your brain can't build a new future if it's always stuck in survival mode, worrying about the past. Find ways to calm yourself. Step 2, I focused entirely on myself. Don't focus on your ex or your boss or your parents or your sister or that coworker. Focus on yourself. Your thoughts, your choices, your preferences, your growth, your future. And step 3, start creating. Don't wait for something to happen. Make it happen. Any small action, even if no one's watching, just start creating. Again, action is going to bring clarity. If this hits home, send me a message or share this episode with someone who needs it. Listen, this is your life, your reinvention. At any age, it's your time, and you don't have to do it alone. Join Team Positive and let's build something you are excited to wake up to every single day. All right, I love you. I will see you at practice.